Have some nails here. X marks the spot video right here. Got a silver ring I found at a school, and that spot where I found this silver ring at is a parking lot now. They tore all the grass up in a field there, and they put a asphalt parking lot over it. But I'll put that silver ring right there in the center. I'll cover it with a nail on the top here, right? Make it tough, right? I got the Anfibio with the 9-inch Concentric. I also have the Deus, the ORX, and the Deus and the ORX with the 5x9 elliptical, and I have the Equinox with a 6-inch coil on it. I'll start out with the ORX, see if it'll hit this. I'm always testing like this, just too curious, right? I'm waiting for my batteries to charge up on my GoPro cameras. I got 7 batteries charging right now. I forgot to charge them when I got home last night, so. Let's see what we got here. Coin fast. It's gonna false. It's gonna false. Right. It's spanking it out though. Look at that. It was hitting it going this way in 14 kilohertz stock program, or stock Deus fast, stock coin fast program, right? It's giving me midtones. It's pulsing on the iron, right? Spanked it out. The ORX is coming through. Coming through, right? I'll actually move that closer. That nail closer, right there. See, I'm just pushing it to the max here, right? I can raise my frequency up, actually. I'll drop my recovery speed down. Reactivity down to 2. How about that? Right there, right there. Spanking it out, going that way. Of course, it's going to hit it that way. I'll lift my frequency up to 74 kilohertz. All right. This is where it shines, man. It's not falsing on that iron. That's a high tone, right? I'll even take that silver ring out of there. I'll show you, man. That was just ripping that thing apart. Ripping it apart. Right. Let's try the Anfibio on the same target here. I'll put a 99 tone. How about that? I might have to raise my volume up here a little bit too. I'll keep it at 5. I don't want to be too loud. I'll do 5 tone. Go up with my gain a little bit here to 89. Get some recovery speed going on there, right? And actually, I'll tone break that first tone volume. I'll drop the iron volume down to 0. How about that? Falsing on the iron quite a bit there, so right here. Overload already. All right. Tearing it apart, ripping it apart. Look at that. See that? I'm getting a target going this way. It's really tough for detectors to get any tones going this way on that, right? Right. Next, I'll go to 99 tone, like I said. I'll have to change. Go up with my recovery speed or my gain. It's basically recovery speed. Let's see. here, I'll go down to the tone volume, drop that iron volume all the way down, because it's that factory preset right now, so. Ripping that target apart, man. Ripping it apart. Right there. Yeah, it's iron, see? Let's go with the Equinox. I tried to do a dime and this ring in the same video with all these machines, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get it all in one video. Right? I want to keep it short. 4 kilohertz. Oh boy, I'm all messed up here. Park 1, iron on, multi-frequency. Right there. Really jumpy tones here. Nothing going that way. Right. I'll try 4 kilohertz. Nothing. Right. 40 kilohertz. Struggling on that one. 40 kilohertz. I'm changing my recovery speed here because I think it's low. Yeah, it's low here. Change it up to 7, which is way too fast, right? Oh boy. Just too much. Multi-frequency, it's too much for the multi-frequency. All right. Try Park 2 here. Multi-frequency. Come on. Just ripping it apart, man. Look at that. No, it's just falsing on the iron. All right. Going this way. I can't pinpoint that target. I can pinpoint it this way, though. That's a tough feat for any detector to get a target, a response going that way, right? Deus. Full tones. Deep program. Deep full tones. Right. Minus 6.4 discrimination, 91 gain, 74 kilohertz. 1 iron volume, doesn't matter what my iron volume is, but reactivity 2, 2.5. I think I'll actually go down with that a little bit. I'll go down to 2. Auto response 4. I'll raise my discrimination up a little bit here to 0.8. 74 kilohertz. Let's see what we can do here. That's what I'm listening for. I'm listening for those low tones along with that high tone right there, right? That's why I do these tests, so I can learn. If I learned something new about this detector, I want to try it on my other detectors, right? So I can see if it's going to work. So I can figure it out, right? I actually moved that nail there a little bit closer right there. Banging it out. Go down to 14 kilohertz and see if that'll work. No, just too low. Right? I want to get a high tone on it, right? Come on. 74 kilohertz just seems to get it done, right? show what it sounds like without that ring in there. Move that closer right there. Right there. Right. It wasn't pulsing on the iron. Alright. The Deus just has a little bit of an advantage over the other machines. Not much. But I'll try the deep program. It'll probably just pulse on it. Something fierce on that iron. Alright. Stock deep program. Because the stock deep program, you have to discriminate. And you have to know what your tone breaks are at and all that crap. Just, I'll go to deep program here. Yeah, it's just pulsing on the iron, right? It's not hitting it. It's pulsing on the iron, right? Right there. Yeah, it's just pulsing on the iron. I mean, I can spend 10 minutes dialing this machine in for deep program and it'll hit it a little bit better than the full tones, but I have to manage all my tones and tone breaks and the pitches and the discrimination. It's just too much work. And then if you're in two-tone with the Deus, you know, the hot program, I just realized that I've been getting a lot more targets out with the hot program because I can do testing and I can really learn what to listen for instead of having a bunch of broken tones and falsing on iron and having to push up a lot of buttons. The full tones really, it's a lot less managing tones, and I don't want to spend a bunch of time pushing buttons, right? I want a machine that I can just turn it on, not push too many buttons, and just get it out of the ground, right? With the Anfibio, you know, I think it takes a lot longer to learn the Anfibio than the Equinox. And the Deus, the reason why I've been using the Deus for a long time is because I still learn a lot about it, right? The Equinox is pretty easy to learn, you know, it's not too hard to learn, but you know, the big coil on the Equinox and the big coil on the Deus and the ORX does not work on this test right here, right? It just doesn't work. Too much iron on the surface there. Just overwhelms the coils, right? Just too much iron. But the reason why I do this testing is because I want to know, man. I want to know which detector and which settings to take out there, right? If I get in a big bed of iron and I don't have the right coil with me at the time, I'll come back later on. And I know how much iron's in that area. You know, if I'm using a machine and I find a spot of iron and I'm struggling, I'm not going to try to dial it in and get too much out of that spot, the irony spot. So I'll come back with a different detector. The Equinox works really good on, I'll actually show you this right here, because I have enough time. The Equinox works really good in 4 kilohertz if you have just like one nail, right? Just pick up all this stuff here. I'll just go like this, put this dime right here, right? If you just have one nail, all right, and pick this up too. I'll swing this Equinox over at 4 kilohertz, right? A lot of machines struggle on this target right here, right? See? Park 2, it just won't hit it in multi-frequency, right? Iron bicep 0, FE, right? Look, I'll put in 4 kilohertz right there. Rip it apart, man. Rips it apart, man. 10 kilohertz? Nothing, right? Nothing. Now I'll show you what happens with the Anfibio right here. And this is at the same plane, right? That iron is at the same plane as that. See that? Right there. Just stock program, stock 3-tone program, right? 89 gain. Just rips it apart, right? Just rips it apart. And then I'll show you the Deus here. Show you what it does to with the Deus, right? Hot program, just stock hot program right here. 14 kilohertz. It barely does it, right? I mean, it'll do it this way, right? That's pretty easy for most detectors, but this way is the tough part, right? Now I'll go up to 74 kilohertz and it'll just rip it apart. Right? 74 kilohertz does really good in the iron, man. About the same, right? This coil does not do very well. The 9-inch round coil, the 9-inch double D coil for the Deus does a lot better on this target than the 5x9, just for some reason, you know? I just want to know the ins and outs of these detectors, right? I mean, I'm not really bashing machines. I just want to learn more about them, you know? And, you know, the best way to learn is get out there and do it. But when you test like this, you learn something new about the dynamics of machines, and then you can see if the other machines have those same qualities, right? And I want to know that. You know, when I put the Equinox up in the higher frequencies, it doesn't perform like the Deus does, right? And it doesn't perform like the Anfibio does either. Machines have a lot of different circuitry in them, right? And with those concentric coils, you saw that. It was just spanking out of the ground. If I put that in 5 kilohertz, actually I'll do that right now. I'll put it in 5 kilohertz Anfibio real quick, right before this video ends. Put it in 5 kilohertz and it'll just rip it apart, right? Just rip it apart. Stock 3-tone program, right? I was at 20 kilohertz before. Actually, it might not do very well. Oh, just ripping it apart. Ripping it apart. Look at that. See? 79, 80. Rips it apart, right? I wish Deus and Equinox would come out with some concentric coils for the machines. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.